package for today, Thursday, 27th September 2018. In our lead stories, nationally, government moving briskly towards a 21st century government with ICTs, so says Deputy Prime Minister. And two young leaders from St. Kitts and Nevis participate in the U.S. government-sponsored program. Regionally, Cuba and Russia strengthen strategic partnership at UN meeting. Internationally, Portugal charges 12 over huge wildfire that killed 66 people. And in sports, Russia is in legal bid to lift IAAF doping ban. We'll have the details of these and other stories after this message.
Another look.
Different from how you've seen it before.
Another look.
Takes an in-depth look into business, politics, science, technology, religion, and more.
Another look.
Featuring documentaries from the BBC, regional features, and local ones too.
Another look.
Every Monday at 3 p.m. on the Eastern Caribbean's powerhouse, Vaughan.
Welcome back. Another national news in detail. The Federation ranks number 37 out of 176 countries listed on the ICT Development Index for the year 2017, making it the best ranked country in the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, OECS. This is according to Deputy Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Honorable Sean Richards, as the Team Unity-led administration is taking considerable steps towards adopting a 21st century approach in the area of the Information and Communications Technologies, ICTs. The acting Prime Minister has noted that the Team Unity-led administration, as part of its implementation, is doing more with the employment in the field of ICT. The Caribbean Telecommunications Union, CTU, defines a 21st century government as being characterized by citizen-centric, seamless, open, interactive and efficient processes, and says it makes effective use of information and communication technologies to deliver services to its citizens, internal and external clients. ICT Week, which runs from September 24th to 28th, is being observed under the theme 21st Century Government, Enhancing Connections, Accelerating Progress. ICT Week here in St. Kitts and Nevis concludes on Friday 28th September with Amazon Web Services Workshop and a workshop for persons living with disabilities. Shane Brown and Janelle Boone are representing St. Kitts and Nevis in the U.S. Department of State's Young Leaders of the Americas Initiatives YLAI Professional Fellows Program. The program seeks to empower entrepreneurs and civil society leaders to strengthen their capacity and launch their entrepreneurial ideas, as well as effectively contribute to economic development in their communities. They will take part in a 4-week program from September 20th to October 23rd, along with representatives from Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Dominica, Grenada, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The entrepreneurs joined their Caribbean and Latin American counterparts with the goal of expanding their leadership and entrepreneurial experience through fellowships at businesses and civil society organizations across the United States. Organizations here on Nevis continue to aid youths in furthering their education. One such organization providing assistance is Youth Path Nevis Incorporated, a United Nations educational, scientific, and cultural organization, UNESCO-funded youth group. The organization presented a scholarship to Kijari Huggins, who passed 8 CSEC subjects at the Gingerland Secondary School and is currently a student of the Nevis Sixth Form College. Minister of Youth, the Honorable Eric Evelyn, and a director of the organization, expressed the elation in presenting the scholarship to Mr. Huggins.
I am always very happy and excited when young men excel, because of course we know that a lot of times we hear the young men getting involved in deviant behavior. And I'm happy that our recipient today is a male, and from Rollins Village as well, because we've heard a lot of negatives about Rollins, and we are happy that a young man from Rollins Village is going to be receiving this scholarship today.
The scholarship was presented to Mr. Huggins on Tuesday, 11th September 2018. The minister further encouraged the sixth form student to remain steadfast in his pursuit to further his education.
On behalf of Youth Path, we want to congratulate you once again, and we want to tell you to be as diligent as possible, to work hard. Of course, there will be challenges, and we are asking you, whatever you do, to ensure that you stick to your work, you stick to your goals, and irrespective of what will come, we are asking you to do your work, ensure that the work comes first.
The Honorable Eric Evelyn. An official from the Ministry of Agriculture and the visiting regional agronomist at Caribbean Communicals educated the public on measures that can be taken to ensure food safety and mitigate risk on human health. This comes as the Federation observes Pesticide Awareness Week 2018, which runs from September 23rd to the 28th. According to the agronomist Kennedy Paul, farmers, suppliers and users of pesticides should read warning labels carefully to educate themselves on the harmful or adverse effects that pesticides may have, and also the necessary safety precautions that should be taken when handling pesticides. An agronomist is an expert in the science of soil management and crop production. Director of Agriculture on St. Kitts, Mr. Melvin James, said that although there have been research about the hazardous effects of pesticides, which have been inconclusive, it is still important to find alternatives that pose little to no harm to humans or the environment. Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley, will host his monthly press conference next Tuesday, October 2nd. At the press conference, the Premier will provide an update on matters of national interest. Additionally, members of the press will have the opportunity to ask questions. The event will commence at 10 a.m. at the Cabinet Room on the second floor of the Social Security Building at Pinneys Estate. The last press conference was held on August 29, 2018. And finally, in police news, Tanise Johnson of Taylor's Village, St. Kitts, was arrested, formally charged, and cautioned for the offense of wounding with intent. Bail was granted in the sum of $30,000 for her appearance at the Bastia Magistrate Court on November 5, 2018. The conditions of the bail are as follows. 1. She is to have no contact with the virtual complainant, either directly or indirectly. 2. She is to report to the Bastia Police Station on Mondays and Saturdays between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. And 3. She is to stay 100 feet away from the virtual complainant. Kadeem Laurie of New Road Housing was arrested, formally charged, and cautioned for the offense of riding a motorcycle without insurance. He was granted bail in the sum of $5,000 for his appearance at the Bastia Magistrate Court on October 18, 2018. Police executed several search warrants on properties in the following areas on St. Kitts, namely McKnight, Fort Thomas Road, Upper Monkey Hill, Shadwell Gut, and Keon. These reports were recorded by the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force for the period September 22nd to the 24th, 2018. That's our national news segment. You can visit our website at www.vonradio.com, or you can check us out on our social media page on Facebook at Von Radio and our Von Radio YouTube channel. News from across the region is next.
It means something different to everyone. It's a place you love, a place as unique as you are, a place where you can be yourselves, a place for life's big surprises, and not to mention the small ones. Moments to cherish and moments that last a lifetime. It's a place for nurture and a place where you can grow together. It's home. So whether you're building, purchasing, or renovating, the Bank of Nevis is here to open the door, giving you the confidence to dream and the help you need to get there with a mortgage loan from the Bank of Nevis. The Bank of Nevis Limited, improving the quality of life.
Welcome back, and all the regional news in detail. Cuba and Russia strengthened their strategic relations at a meeting of their foreign ministers, Bruno Rodriguez Pereira and Sergei Lavrov, respectively, within the framework of the 73rd session of the UN General Assembly in New York, Prensa Latina reported. The meeting included an exchange of opinions on current issues relating to the Russian-Cuban strategic partnership, including issues on the regional and international agendas. Special attention was also paid to the development of trade and humanitarian relations, as well as to the improvement of the legal basis of the agreements between the two nations. The diplomats noted with satisfaction the dynamics of the political dialogue between Russia and Cuba, as well as the common search for cooperation within the framework of the UN and other multilateral spaces, according to the Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Out of Venezuela. The people of Venezuela are being harassed and attacked in the economic, political, diplomatic spheres and facing permanent aggression by the media at the hands of the United States. President Nicolas Maduro told the United Nations General Assembly on Wednesday. He decried shameful actions against his country, which he said amounted to a diplomatic offensive, recalling that on Tuesday, United States President Donald Trump had used his United Nations address to invoke a doctrine that imposed the rule of the United States from 200 years ago, that intervention is possible and that he can be judge and policeman of the world. Describing the Monroe Doctrine as an imperialist expression of ownership of the Americas, he said, "Our people rose against it because he wanted freedom and equality, but that the United States wanted to continue giving orders to the world in the 21st century as it did in the preceding one." He said the aggression against his country had been driven by the fact that Venezuela has raised an autonomous project of democratic revolution, of social claim, and building a new model of society based on the historical roots of the nation. Out of Haiti. The Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, has officially opened its country office in Haiti, the first outside its headquarters in Barbados. CDB President Dr. William Warren Smith, who hosted an inauguration event attended by First Lady of Haiti, Martine Moïse, Apostolic Nuncio Ambassador Eugene Martin Nugent, ministers of government, and representatives from the diplomatic community in Haiti, was timely as the bank seeks to advance the country's development and assist with its further integration into the Caribbean community, CARICOM. Speaking to the gathering at the Royal Oasis Hotel in Pentonville, Smith noted that since 2007, the CDB has committed approximately $134 million in grants to Haiti from the bank's Special Development Fund, Unified. CDB's new country office will become the focal point for the implementation of its country strategic for Haiti for the period 2017 to 2021, he said. The CDB's ongoing work in Haiti includes projects in education, climate resilience, community-based agriculture, and rural development. And finally, out of Guyana. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov will make his first visit to Guyana and Suriname, and the President of Guyana, David Granger, will also visit Paramaribo in December for talks with the Suriname counterpart, President Desi Bortez. The dates of those meetings and visits are not yet finalized, but are in the process of being determined, according to the Foreign Minister of Suriname, Yildiz Polak Bigley, who disclosed this information last week during a press briefing in Paramaribo. Both Yildiz Polak Bigley and her Guyanese counterpart, Carl Greenidge, have previously traveled to Moscow and met with Lavrov. Polak Bigley and Lavrov will again hold a bilateral meeting during the 73rd United Nations General Assembly currently taking place in New York. If the visit does materialize, it will be the first such high-level visit of a Russian foreign minister to Guyana and Suriname. That's it for regional stories. Stay with us for news from around the world. Welcome back, and now the international news in detail. Prosecutors in Portugal are bringing charges of criminally negligent homicide against 12 defendants over the deaths of 66 people in a major wildfire last year. At Pedroga Grande, 200 kilometers northeast of Lisbon, 47 people died in their cars as they fled the flames in June 2017. Investigators alleged the municipal road they used was not properly maintained and had dense woodland running close along it. Mike Saunders reports.
Forest fire around Pedrógão Grande on June the 17th last year was the deadliest in Portuguese history. Temperatures above 40 degrees Celsius had turned the vegetation tinder dry, and when fire took hold, swirling winds spread it quickly and unpredictably. Around 30 people died in their cars as the 236 highway took them into the blaze. 3 of the accused were managers at a highway company that failed to shut the road. 2 more were executives at an electricity producer that allegedly let eucalyptus trees grow tall enough to touch their power lines.
India's top court has ruled adultery is no longer a crime, striking down a 158-year-old colonial-era law which it said treated women as male property. Previously, any man who had sex with a married woman without the permission of her husband had committed a crime. A petition had challenged the law, saying it was arbitrary and discriminated against men and women. It is not clear how many men have been prosecuted under the law. There is no data available. Imran Khan's government has continued its efforts to refill the Pakistani government's coffers by selling off 8 highly prized buffaloes. The animals had been kept at Prime Minister's house, where they reportedly provided milk for Nawaz Sharif, Mr. Khan's predecessor, and his family. However, Mr. Khan decided that they should be sold off as part of the government's so-called austerity auctions. Jill McGivern reports.
The buffaloes were kept by the former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif for their high-quality milk. The most expensive fetched more than $3,000, far exceeding the market price. It's the latest sign of attempts by the new Prime Minister Imran Khan to present himself as a different, cleaner type of politician. He fought the election with a campaign promising to crack down on corruption and government spending as part of an austerity drive. He faced criticism last month when it emerged that he commuted by helicopter to avoid traffic jams.
And finally, ride-hailing firm Uber is paying $148 million to settle legal action over a cyber attack that exposed data from 57 million customers and drivers. The massive breach happened in 2016, but Uber sought to hide it from regulators. The company paid the hackers behind the intrusion $100,000 to delete the data they grabbed from Uber's cloud servers. The payment settles action brought by the U.S. government and 50 states over Uber's failure to disclose details of the data loss. Uber revealed some information about the breach in November 2017 and admitted that it should have been more open about the attack. That brings us to the end of our news segments. The latest in sports is next.
Furniture Fed continues at TDC Business Center and City Drugstore Nevis. Office Edition. Save up to 35% on office furniture, cash or hire purchase, and save big with our Independence Furniture Cash Specials. Adorn your office space with quality, desk chairs, bookshelves, and so much more. You thought the party was over? But it really just begun with the TDC Business Center and City Drugstore Nevis Furniture Fed. The Office Edition. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back on Other Sports in Detail. In athletics, the Russia Athletic Federation, RUSAF, has launched a legal challenge to overturn athletics governing body by the IAAF's ban on its athletes. It has filed an appeal to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. Last week, WADA ended its 3-year suspension of Russia's anti-doping agency by the IAAF's ban remains. We are guided solely by the interest of fairness, justice, and equal treatment of clean athletes, RUSAF said in a letter to the IAAF. The Russian anti-doping agency, RUSADA, had been suspended since 2015 over alleged state-backed doping after it was accused of covering up drug abuse, including while the country hosted the 2014 Sochi Winter Olympics, in a WADA-commissioned report. Earlier this month, WADA's Compliance Review Committee recommended reinstatement after it received assurances from the Russian Sports Ministry that the country had sufficiently acknowledged failures. In cricket, Bangladesh beat Pakistan by 37 runs to set up a meeting with India in the Asia Cup final. Batting first, Bangladesh was reduced to 12 for 3 before Mushfiqur Rahim's 99 helped them to 239 in Abu Dhabi. Junaid Khan finished with 4 for 19. Imam El-Haq made 83 in reply, but Pakistan lost wickets regularly, with pace bowler Mustafizur Rahman taking 4 for 43 as they fell short on 202 for 9. Bangladesh faces defending champions India in Dubai on Friday. India won by 7 wickets when the sides met in the Super 4 stage. Summarized scores: Bangladesh 239 in 48.5 overs, Mushfiqur 99, Junaid 4 for 19. Pakistan 202 for 9 in 50 overs, Imam Ul-Haq 83, Mustafizur 4 for 43. Bangladesh won by 37 runs. Reigning champions Windward Islands Volcanoes will contest Group A at the Regional Super 50, which bowls off next week, Thursday, in Trinidad and Tobago. The tournament itinerary, released Tuesday by the Barbados Cricket Association, will see Group A being played in Trinidad and Tobago, while Group B will be staged in Barbados. Group A will also feature Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, Canada, West Indies B, and Guyana Jaguars, while Group B comprises Barbados Pride, Leeward Islands Hurricanes, Jamaica Scorpions, Combined Campuses and Colleges CCC, and United States. The tournament runs from October 3rd to the 28th. Volcanoes, who stunned Barbados Pride in last season's final, will open the defense of the title with a difficult fixture against multiple champions Red Force at Queen's Park Oval. Canada and Windies B will form the undercard in another day and night contest at the Brian Lara Stadium on the opening. On the following day in Barbados, Group B will get underway with a clash between Scorpions and CCC in a 9 a.m. start at 3W's Oval. The top two teams from each group will qualify for the semi-finals, which will be played at Kensington Oval on October 25th and 26th, with the final carded for October 28th. In tennis, Britain's Andy Murray beat world number 11 David Goffin, his highest-ranked opponent since returning from hip surgery, to reach the Shenzhen Open quarterfinals. Scott Murray, 31, won 6-3, 6-4 against the Belgian top seed in China. Former world number 1 Murray, now ranked 311th in the world, returned to June after almost a year out. Next, he will face Taro Daniel or 5th seed Fernando Verdasco, who beat Murray at the US Open in August. And finally, in football, Germany has beaten Turkey to host Euro 2024 after a vote by UEFA's Executive Committee today, Thursday. The two countries made final bid presentations before voting took place in Nyon, Switzerland. The decision means Germany will stage the European Championship for the first time as a unified country, with West Germany having hosted the 1988 tournament. Turkey is yet to host a major international football tournament. It has seen previous attempts to host the Euros in 2008, 2012, and 2016 fail, as well as the 2020 Summer Olympics. Germany staged the 2006 World Cup. That's it for sports. The general weather forecast is next. Welcome back. Another local weather forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis. Weather tonight will be mostly cloudy with a 70% or high chance of late night showers. Weather tomorrow will be cloudy to overcast with numerous showers and isolated thunderstorms. Gusty winds are also likely, mainly during heavier showers. Winds are southeast at 26 to 41 kilometers per hour or 14 to 22 knots, gusting to 52 kilometers per hour or 28 knots during heavier showers, as well as over open waters. Seas are very rough, with significant wave heights of 2.4 to 3.7 meters or 8 to 12 feet. Stern warnings as well as high surf advisories remain in place against dangerous high surf and hazardous wave conditions. Sunrise tomorrow would be at 6:01 a.m. And that's how we wrap up the major news catch-it for today, Thursday, 27th September 2018. Before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Nationally, government moving briskly towards a 21st century government with ICTs, so says Deputy Prime Minister. And two young leaders from St. Kitts and Nevis participate in the U.S. government-sponsored program. Regionally, Cuba and Russia strengthen strategic partnership at UN meeting. Internationally, Portugal charges 12 over huge wildfire that killed 66 people. And in sports, Russia in a legal bid to lift IAAF doping ban. On behalf of the rest of the news team, I am Tashon Tyson, wishing you a pleasant evening.